Hey, are you looking to make a move to Michigan? Or have you bought a house in the past and all of a sudden you realize, holy smokes, what the heck happened to these taxes? They're outrageous. What many agents might not know or just may forget to tell you is a lot of times these taxes, or 99% of the times, these taxes will go up, or they may come down in certain situations, but they will go up when you decide to buy your house. It's just a question of how much. There is a way to be able to tell how much it should go up by. We're going to dive into a little bit more of that detail right now. First off, let's be honest. How many people do you see with a big smile when they talk about taxes? Well, taxes, they're not that exciting.
He's the tax man. Kevin the tax man.
But it's one of those things. It's part of life. It's part of our real estate deals.
Because I'm going to have to start paying taxes.
And without you knowing that information, you don't know what's going to happen. You might buy a house and all of a sudden you can't afford it anymore. And we don't want that to happen. Hey, look, I'm Travis Juntti with the Living in Southeast Michigan team. You can reach me by text, call, email, whatever it is best. I'm here to help you out. Days, nights, and weekends. All my contact information is down below. Feel free to reach out anytime. And with that being said, let's get right into it. So for the sake of this video, I think it would be very helpful for me to kind of go at a listing that you typically see when you're, maybe your agent is sending you listings, or maybe you're just kind of browsing for listings. Here's some of the information that'll help you as you kind of go through that process. All right, so here's a good example. We have a home here, just as typical what you find in Realtor.com. So if you're out browsing by yourself, or your agent maybe sends you something, whatever it might be, you're looking at this, you're seeing, 650,000, you see the estimate per month, and typically that's, you can edit that, so it's nice though, you can plug in your interest rate and all that kind of fun stuff. You got your bedrooms, bathrooms, and what goes into that, like we're talking about the taxes here, but what goes into that estimate, you come down here to the property history, and this is where you can look here. I mean, obviously you see, they were updating prices, so they're, removing it, adding it back on, removing it, put it back on. Anyways, so if you're looking here, you see the property taxes. Okay, so this is where they're getting, with that estimate of your monthly. Okay, so if you're looking at your property taxes, you're seeing here, okay, my total assessment is what I like to call the SEV, the state equalized value, is at 304,830, and it's showing here, their taxes are, $6,367 a year. So and when you're getting pre-approved for a loan, that's the same number that they'll use for when you're getting pre-approved for that loan. The thing that you have to think about, the thing that you have to consider is, okay, how long has this person lived there? What, are they renting the house? Is it homesteaded? The reason why this makes a difference is if you move into a house that maybe they've owned the house for, 15, 10, 20, whatever, however many years, their taxable value might be considerably different than, say, their state equalized value. Let's say you're qualified for a home at one price, and then you go in there and all of a sudden your taxes jump way up. That's something that you have to be aware of. And my job, part of my job as a real estate agent is educate you on that stuff. Now, of course, there should be lenders that should be telling you that information, but not all lenders have that information. Not all lenders are giving you that information. That's why I do my best as my duty to help you understand the home buying process. So if we look here, we have a total assessment of $304,000, and we're looking at taxes of $6,367. That might be going off their taxable value, which isn't shown here. But if we go into the property tax estimator, we have here, I input $304,830. I got Livingston County. And you can come in here and you can select your county. You got Hamburg Township. I already selected that. And then you select your school district. I believe this one was, you see down here, schools. This is Pinckney Schools, okay? So we'll come in here, we'll select Pinckney Schools. So $8,389. That makes a big difference. I mean, as you saw on the listing, you're getting pre-approved for taxes that are at $6,367. So your taxes are gonna jump, or they should jump, $2,000. That's annually. So divide that by 12, whatever that math is. I'm not that quick with it, but that's going to make a big jump in your monthly, your allotted monthly amount. So that may or may not break you. You might have to look and say, hey, maybe I can't afford this house, that's priced at $650. Maybe I got to start looking. I opened so many different things here, but maybe I got to start looking for something else. If my estimated taxes at 45, 46 a month, I might not be able to afford that. I might have to look at something else. So those are some of the factors you need to consider. I mean, let's say you're looking at a house that's, maybe we have that same SEV value. Maybe we'll just go to a flat number just for fun. But we're going to remain in Livingston County. We're going to go into Pinckney. Well, let's actually just go into Brighton and make that easy. We'll go into Brighton here. We'll select your school district, and we're going to go to Brighton Schools. So now we're at a 41.42 millage rate. I didn't call it out on the last one, but the last one was at 27 millage rate. Now we're jumping up to 41, and now we're looking at taxes of $12,426. That makes a massive difference. I mean, if you're looking at the same house that might be in the city limits versus outside in the township, that's going to make a massive difference. And then you consider the fact that maybe they lived in the house for a long time, and you consider those same factors, and your prices may really jump up. I talked about the possibility of your monthly taxes going down. That is possible. You don't see it as often, especially here in Southeast Michigan, or just really depends on your area in Southeast Michigan. I mean, if you're looking more Metro Detroit, you might find a few more non-homesteaded properties, which mean that they're not actually living at the property. That's more of a investment property. But if you're looking at a non-homesteaded property, you're looking at 17,880. That's crazy amount of taxes. I mean, that's a millage rate of 59.6, and these numbers vary obviously per municipality. But your non-homestead taxes are going to be considerably higher than your homestead taxes. You're going to pay a lot more for those taxes. So let's say if you buy a house that was non-owner occupied, your taxes will in fact go down at that point. All things considered, 99% of the time. Don't quote me on that, because it's sometimes different circumstances change. So I'm waiting for that one person to make a comment down below. It's like, wow, my taxes never changed. Consult your tax professional. But anyways, so let's say that I know we talk about Ann Arbor a lot on this channel. So if we want to go into that same similar house, Ann Arbor is in Washtenaw County. If we want to go into Washtenaw County, we're going to select. We're just going to go into Ann Arbor Township, okay? And we're going to go to Ann Arbor Public Schools. So we were in a township in Livingston County. We were at 27 millage rates. Now we're at 38 millage rates at $11,478 annually. Now that's a big jump. You have to think of those things when you're looking to go from county to county or municipality to municipality, different school districts. Obviously Ann Arbor Township, that's the only option there. If you're in Dexter Township, if you're over in maybe Dexter Schools, I mean, it's a very similar millage rates. But let's say if you wanted to go to Washtenaw and you were in Ann Arbor, the city of Ann Arbor, and you were in Ann Arbor Schools, now you're sitting at 50 millage rates. I mean, that's $15,000 a year in taxes that you're paying for that state equalized value of $300,000. And that's, rule of thumb. I mean, SEV is about half the value of a home. So, SEV's 300, home should be 600, but that's not really a hard and fast rule. That's just kind of a really quick, back of the napkin, or, just easy, simple math. But that's kind of the idea of what the SEV is. But of course, that's not always accurate either. But that kind of gives you an idea. I mean, so if you're looking at this is probably, in this situation, it'd probably be an $800,000 home or $600,000 home according to my math, but it's really going to be probably closer to $800,000 home. In Ann Arbor, you're probably going to pay $15,000 in taxes annually. So some of you may ask, you talk about when somebody lived in the home for 5, 10, 15 years and all of a sudden they uncap these taxes, why are they uncapping these taxes? Well, the reason is when somebody lives in a home, let's say, the house I bought was a 1978 home. And they lived in the house from 1978 until when we bought it just, 5, 6 years ago. And the taxes can only go up so much per year. If you look here, I just typed this in a little bit ago, so how the cap works. In Michigan, homeowners have an overall cap on how much the value of their home can go up each year. The annual assessment increase for each property is limited to 5% or the inflation rate, whichever is less. Of course, government, our Michigan taxes are capitalizing on these home sales, because they were capped at 5% or less of their taxable value. And when you have these home appreciation rates that were double digits over the last several years, this is their chance to really kind of catch up on those taxes. That's when they can unlock that taxable value, move up into the state equalized value. So you really have to watch out for that, especially if you're buying a home that somebody's lived in for 5 to 10 years. Now, I surely hope that you find this information valuable. Now, I would certainly love if you would hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And hey, I am a licensed agent here in the state of Michigan. I love making these videos, but I also love helping you guys out. Text, call, email, whatever is best. All my information is down in the description below. I love providing this value. I hope that you saw a lot of value from today's content. I'm curious, are you thinking about making a move to Michigan? Has this changed, your thinking of where you would like to move? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought, or maybe you thought that you were moving into a place and your taxes were going to be this, but now they're that. I'd like to hear about that in the comments. Now, until the next video, we'll catch you later.